Meet Stefan. For decades, he's been chasing his dreams, but it's left him with little to show. No car, no retirement accounts, and nothing in your savings. How would you live your life differently if you're making $70,000 a year?
I would have a nice car and take advantage of those vacation packets to Bahamas. And of course, all of my debt will be gone.
But the reality is far from this dream. Stefan is barely scraping by and refuses to make the necessary changes to get there. But how are you going to be able to do that making $18,000 a year? Will Stefan finally wake up to the reality he's created, or will he keep chasing the same dream down a road that leads nowhere?
Stefan, I'm 44. I'm from Union, New Jersey.
Awesome. And what do you do for a living, Stefan?
I'm a musician and I'm also an actor.
Okay, and how much do you make a year as a musician and an actor?
Right, what is it? About $18,000.
$18,000. How in the world are you surviving off $18,000? Or are we piling up a lot of debt right now?
No, I'm just, I guess I'm thrifty.
Thrifty, okay. And how long have you been a musician and an actor for?
Almost all my life. I grew up into music and into acting. I also have my degree.
Okay, and what'd you study?
I have my degree in computer science and applied mathematics.
You have a degree in computer science and applied mathematics, and you're sitting here making $18,000 a year? Why don't you put that degree to use?
Well, if you have to, my availability, you have to be available. When you have a job, if I was doing programming, not a programming job, they overload your hours, and you never have time to do anything else. So it's like, when people call me for an acting job or a musician job, I can just go do it. But if I was working like 50 hours a week or, doing programming, people call me to do an acting job, people call me to come play music, I wouldn't be able to do it. I say, I have to go to work.
Cool, course. So you're more about let's do things that you enjoy versus let's go make money, it sounds like.
Kinda.
Because that's what that says to me. I care more about having fun doing work, playing music and acting than I care about a good steady paycheck that pays me a living wage. Because right now, $18,000 a year, you're well below the median and the average income in America.
Yeah, but I hope to increase that money. I look at it as I'm making 18 right now.
Hopefully. What has your income been the last 3 years?
About 18, same thing.
So what's going to change? What are you doing differently this year than the previous 3 years to increase your income?
What am I doing more? Oh, boy.
Because if you're not doing anything differently, then there's no expectation for your income to increase. I mean, if you do the same thing over and over again, your definition of insane if you think you have a different outcome. So if you do the same thing every single year to make $18,000, you don't change your ways, then there should be zero expectation to expect to that $18,000 increase.
Yes, you have a point. You do have a point, but...
So I'm all for chasing dreams and passions, but I'm also for, hey, how do you pay the bills and have a living wage and then do the fun things on the side? And when it comes to put a computer science major to work 40 hours a week or 50 hours a week, and the nights and weekends you do the musician stuff and the stuff that you enjoy doing. Then guess what? Then you have a nice paying job, and then you also make money on the side doing those other things.
See, but that's the thing. To get on to become a pro or to get on a high level or to win a Grammy Award or to win a Tony Award or an Oscar, you can't say, oh, I do it on the side.
But you also can't win a Grammy or an Oscar if you can't afford to pay to live. And making $18,000 a year is, I'm pretty sure, probably about the poverty line in America. And you're choosing to live that way, which frankly, a lot of musicians, a lot of actors do because it's very difficult to make it that way. It says I think it's about $15,000 is about where that is. So I understand, hey, yes, chasing those dreams and stuff, but you've been doing it for years and years. When are you going to start taking care of yourself and your future self by caring about the income side versus just the passion? Because right now, well, I guess we'll go through some different things and understand your current financial situation first. So how would you rate your financial situation on a scale of 1 to 10 right now?
Oh, man. I guess a 5. I mean, I look at homeless people and I say, I'm not homeless. I'm out of it. It could be worse.
It could be worse. It could be worse. But looking at current finances, I would not put yourself at a 5. I'd be putting yourself at a 3. And I'll say that for a few reasons. So talking about assets right now is you have no car, no retirement accounts, and nothing in your savings. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So we have $0 worth of assets. On the debt side, we have $8,000 worth of student loans. We have $3,000 worth of credit cards, which total debt is $11,000. So that means your total net worth is negative $11,000.
Oh, man.
Have you ever calculated that before?
Yeah. No, when I was doing the math and you sent me the sheets, I was like, man.
The issue with this is a few things. One, I've seen much worse debt. I've seen $100,000, $200,000. I've seen $50,000 on a credit card. You don't have that. You're in a spot that, okay, you can turn this around. But there's two issues. One, our income is very low. And two, you're 44. So that means you have 20 years to fix this, 23-ish, before official retirement age in the United States, where Social Security comes in. You're not making enough and putting enough towards Social Security to even buy a cheeseburger in 20 years. So you wake up when you're 67 or 67th birthday expecting to get a paycheck. If you make $18,000 a year for the next 20 years, your Social Security paycheck's not going to be much. And so how are you going to afford to live then? Or are you going to work till the day you die? Or are you ever going to be able to go on a trip, to travel, to eat food, go to restaurants, to buy yourself something nice, to get a car? And unless you fix the income side of things, none of those things are going to be able to happen.
You're very right when you look at the mathematical and logical side of things. But sometimes I look at myself and I say, sometimes people are just called to do certain things, or you just have something in you to do something. It's hard to just turn it off.
But I'm not saying to stop. I'm not saying to stop music. What did you sing? Do you play instruments? What do you do?
I'm a drummer.
You're a drummer. Okay. And so how many sets a week do you do?
2.
2?
Yeah.
Okay. And when do those occur?
Weekends.
Okay. So if you have those on weekends, what's stopping you get a job during the week from Monday to Friday?
No. But I also have sets during the week. See, that's the thing.
But you just said that you only have the drumming sets on the weekends.
Yeah. All right. I act also.
Okay. And how much are you making from acting?
It depends. Like one day, in one day I can make 200. What
is it like on a monthly basis acting? $500, $400, $800?
All right, if I do 3 jobs in a month, 3 or 4 jobs in a month, yeah, that's about 800. It could be 800.
Okay, so drumming, how much are you making drumming each set on the weekends?
About $100.
Okay, so we got to change some things then. That's if you're making $18,000 a year, you're making $200 on the weekends drumming, you're making a couple $100 a week acting. Something's got to change. And I mean, because otherwise that Social Security retirement age, with just Social Security, you might make about $1,000. I think that's probably about what you probably get that, maybe a little bit less. I don't exactly know the exact qualifications. Try to Google it. And this is saying approximately, if you make $18,000 a year over a full career, rough estimate would be about $1,000. So you'd be having $12,000 worth of income, but that's still 33% less than what you're making right now. So let's talk about, I guess, a few things. One, what stops you from getting a full-time job and doing the drumming sets on the weekends still, and then only taking acting gigs that you can do on the weekends?
Well, the main acting projects are during the week.
But they're not paying you anything.
Not right now. But if you get large, like say, all right, last year I did a pilot for a TV show. And if that pilot would have gotten it, the pilot was done during the week. Now, if that pilot would have got picked up, then hey, my shows, I got a nice show, and I would have made a lot of money.
But you didn't.
Yeah.
If I picked the winning lottery tickets, I'd be a billionaire. But I didn't do that. Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Yeah, yes. But my weekdays have to be available for me to do those pilots. Like, you don't know when that call's gonna come, Like, one day I'm just sitting down, boom, my phone ring. They need a drummer. Who's the person that needs the drummer? Jennifer Lopez. And Jennifer, they call me down, boom. I say, yes, I'm available. They heard my stuff, boom. I'm playing for Jennifer Lopez, making good money. But then, boom, things stopped. Pandemic happens, and
So that was a real thing. You're drumming for Jennifer Lopez?
yeah, I played for Jennifer Lopez.
How much were you getting paid for that?
$1,000.
Okay. And was that for one day?
Yeah, it would have probably picked up, but that the pandemic happened, and all touring things stopped. It
So what are you doing today to try to get more gigs like that?
played around. I would go to just put my name out there, going to open mics, jamming with different musicians.
But are people at open mics the ones that have the budget to hire you for Jennifer Lopez?
Yes, there's connections. You never know where the connection is.
Yes, but whoever's in charge of Jennifer Lopez's tour, for example, are they sitting at an open mic night on Friday or Saturday night in your town trying to find a drummer? Or are they calling their buddies X, Y, and Z that know people and you got to get into other door? That's the point I'm trying to make. I don't know the music world at all. Like, I don't know how the drumming world works, how the tour world works, but I'm just stating, is that the right place to find those people? And is going that route beneficial? Can you do both? Let me put it this way. Becoming a full-time actor and a full-time musician and making a living wage, both of those career paths are very difficult. And you're trying to do two of the hardest routes, most popular routes in America of where people try to make money, acting and music, that are probably two of the most, underpaid is the right word, but very low income career paths unless you make it. And so you're trying to do both things at once. Why not pick one, whichever your favorite, acting and music, do that one on the side, and then get a full-time job as your main source of income?
It's good that I'm doing both acting and the music, because the days that I'm not doing the acting, I could play a music job. And if I'm not booked on music, I could take an acting job. Like sometimes on a Monday, I'll be doing the acting job. Wednesday, I'll do a music job. And then Friday, I'm back on the acting job.
I think we're going to agree to disagree on this, but if you want, do you want to change your financial situation where it is right now?
Yes, I do.
Okay, then I think the only way you're going to be able to do that is if you give up one of those two and you replace it with a full-time job. Because doing the same thing over and over and again, expecting different results, is the definition of insanity. Do you agree or disagree with that?
Well, doing certain things over and over and over again in the artist's craft, that's how you become a master.
I'm not saying the practice of it. Yes, you need to practice, you need to do that. But if you go to the same open mic nights, if you do the same thing acting, like, are you outreaching to tour places? Or are you, I don't know the acting world, but like, if your income has been the same the last 3 or 4 years and it hasn't changed, it's not on an upward trajectory, I would assume something needs to change to help get you on track. I want you to enjoy life, and I want you to be able to do things that you want to do, but I also want you to have a good, solid foundation. And being 44 and having $0 in retirement, that scares me for you. I mean, that just is not a spot I want you to be in, because when you're 67, you're going to wake up and what are you going to live off of? Social Security, might have $1,000, might get a couple $100, who knows? Will Social Security be here? I don't know. Will you ever get to travel? I don't know if you like to travel, but you like to eat at nice restaurants. Making $18,000 a year, you can't walk down to a nice steakhouse. You can't go to a nice Italian restaurant. You can't eat out and get some good pizza a couple nights a week. Like, you don't have money to do that. You can't go on a trip and go see the world or go see fun new cities. And that, I guess that's the question for you. What do you enjoy in life? What would more money mean for your life?
More money for me? Well, you just mentioned a steakhouse. That's got me kind of hungry right now. I would enjoy going out to one of them nice restaurants rather than a McDonald's value menu or dollar pizza store. That sounds very good. And
how would you live your life differently if you're making, we'll call it $70,000 a year? Picture that life. What would that life entail?
I would have a nice driving vehicle, a nice car, and I would be going out to the restaurants, as you say. Flashy. I'll probably have much better or a bigger wardrobe, of course, and of course all of my debt will be gone.
Okay. And so would you travel? Would you go visit family more? What would you do? What else would you do?
Oh yeah, I would take advantage of those vacation packets. They got packages to Bahamas, packages to travel packets. They got these nice cruises for $1,000.
traveling, going on a cruise, going to the Bahamas. That sounds awesome. I want that for you. But how are you going to be able to do that making $18,000 a year? You're not.
Yeah, well, hopefully things will change. Like, look, I'm on your show. I might get publicity by being on your show. And,
I can promise you Jennifer Lawrence's J-Lo's drummer is not watching my show trying to learn about personal finances. I can promise you my crowd is not the crowd that's going to hire you to go be a drummer for Taylor Swift.
no, you're popular. You blowing up. You are.
I appreciate that. It's flattering, but I would beg to differ that that's the right crowd. But my point is, if you truly want those things in life, if you truly want to change your financial situation, if you truly want to make a change, something's got to give. And right now, I mean, the main things for improving your financial situation comes down to two things: income and expenses. Those are two things that affect your financial situation. Income, more income you make, that means you can save more. It means you can spend more. The more expenses you have, that means the less you can save, or you go into debt, or the more you can save if they're lower. And so those are the only kind of levers that you can pull is income and expenses. There's really nothing else to it. That's how personal finance works. And so right now with your current income, the main lever we can pull is the income because your income is so low. If your income was $100,000 or $200,000 a year and you had debt, it's a lot harder to pull the lever to increase the income. It's easier to decrease expenses. But in your situation, we can't really decrease expenses. So you can only increase income. So let's run through your current budget you sent me. So your rent, you put $500 a month. So I'm assuming you live with roommates?
Yes.
Okay. Would you like to live with roommates?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I just say more money would allow you the opportunity to live on your own one day. Same with getting a vehicle. You put $0 for groceries. How much do you spend a month on groceries?
Oh, I put zero, but there were other expenses. Even it's shopping. You know what it is? Shopping.
So the only other expense you put on there is eating out $50, shopping $50, and travel $25. And I can promise you, you can't live off $0 in groceries and food and $50 worth of eating out in a month.
Yeah.
So how much do you think you spend a month on groceries?
Maybe $30.
$30? What are you buying? Rice and that's it?
Yeah, because it's I keep it simple. It's more than it's food in there. It's food in the fridge.
So you take your roommate's food.
Yeah, I mean, I put in what we don't have.
I guess grocery budget zero when you live off your roommates.
I basically look at what we like and I just buy that. But usually it's...
Is it friends or family you live with?
Family.
Family. They're being nice. They're letting you eat their food and live for $500 a month is a nice low expenses there.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Have you heard of this new Prosperity Academy?
I've not.
Oh.
What is it?
No, it's this new app. You can Google it. It's an app where you do stocks and things. It's called Prosperity Academy. I just recently got an account with it. They say you could make money on stock market with it.
When did you sign up for this?
About a month ago.
Can I tell you the best thing you can do with that?
Sure.
Delete it.
You know what? I was thinking that. I was thinking I should delete it. Yeah.
It looks like it is a day trading or stock trading app. I don't know. It teaches trading. And the issue with trading stocks is, I'll check this out later. But the issue with trading stocks is most people lose money day trading. And what this is trying to do is to teach you how to use their expertise to build a portfolio and make money. And it's helping you. It's a course about investing and then trading simulators. And I have no idea, but it seems like it is all about day trading. And there's things that day trading, like 90% of day traders lose their money within the first 2 years. I spoke with someone earlier that between her and her brother lost $400,000 day trading. They thought they were the next big thing, that they were going to understand how to day trade and make money doing that, and they lost it all. $400,000. That's a very large amount of money. And the only way, in my opinion, to make money investing is investing in index funds, because it is you can make money day trading, but over 90% chance you're going to lose money. Only like the top 10% of people make money, and it's very difficult to do. Ball is not in your favor. What I like to do is invest in index funds. Do you know what index funds are?
No.
So index funds are baskets of stock. So when you're day trading, you'll take a single stock and you'll just trade that single company stock, and it'll go up and down, and you'll try to beat the market and sell when it's high, buy it when it's low, but it's very difficult to time it. Index funds, think of it as a basket of stock. You have a basket full of 500 or 1,000 or 5,000 companies, and you own bits and pieces, little pieces of each company. You might own 2% of one company, 0.5% on another, 0.1% of another company. But that way, if one company goes bankrupt or their stock falls 80%, you have a diversified portfolio of hundreds of companies. So, for example, it might have index fund in the U.S. stock market will have Apple, Amazon, Google, Facebook, NVIDIA, all these big companies. But guess what? 20 years from now, who knows? Those companies might not be here. 20 years ago, you look back, I mean, Netflix wasn't around. The iPhone, I don't even think it had launched until 2007. NVIDIA, I mean, Amazon, like all these were tiny little companies, now they're the biggest ones in the world. You look back at the top 20 companies in 2000, most of them are not near the top 20 anymore in America. Some of them aren't even in existence. And so that's why index funds are so powerful, is they diversify you across a ton of companies, and over long periods of time, you'll make money. Does that make sense?
Yeah, what company does, what website does that?
I mean, Charles Schwab does it, Vanguard does it, Fidelity does it. I mean, all brokerage platforms do it. And I'll send you some resources on it, but I mean, that's the way I invest. I lost money trying to trade stocks, and I realized, okay, I'm not the next Warren Buffett. If I invest in index funds, I can make a lot of money over a long period of time and get there. The issue is, though, is you don't have any money to invest because you're not making any money. We've got credit card debt and we've got student loans, and I don't like investing when you're in debt because you can't invest when you have credit card debt. Student loans, if it's 3%, 4%, hey, yes, that's a route you can go. But when you have high interest debt like credit cards, there's no reason to even think about investing because your credit cards are at like 29, 30% interest rate typically, but you invest, the average return of the stock market is around 10%. So it makes no sense to invest and try to get 10% returns when you have 30% interest rate credit cards. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
So I want to dive. Do you have any questions on that?
Oh, no. That was a good explanation.
I'll send you videos and resources too about index funds, and my suggestion is watch them, learn, get away from the get-rich-quick schemes. That app you were bright-eyed, bushy-tailed about was selling you the dream on, hey, you can make a lot of money doing this. And guess what? They make a heck of a lot of money selling you courses, thinking that you're going to become rich when 90% of the people that probably do it lose money. I get paid nothing telling you you're going to make more money in index funds than day trading. I could sell you a day trading course all day and become I'll be your one-on-one mentor day trading, pay me $100 a month. But guess what? It's not going to work. I'd make money, you wouldn't. Let's look at your transactions last one that you sent over. So where's your main money going? Because I see 18 withdraw last week on August 16th for $300. What is that for?
$300. I think I had to go to rent.
Okay, that's going to rent. We have a withdrawal for $100 going towards rent. We have more. We have another. We have $360 on August 2nd for a withdrawal too for cash. We have another withdrawal for $100. So I don't even know where these transactions go. We got Burger King, another withdrawal for $19, another withdrawal for $100. We got Big Joe's Pizzeria. We've got Dollar General. We've got Chestnut Market. Oh, you paid for Prosperity Academy. You paid $20 for that.
Yeah, $20. I mean, it's not that bad. I mean, it's not $400,000 like your friend lost.
It's not, but
yeah, I need to get rid of it. I think I need to just get rid of that. Well, I heard something called penny stocks, and I thought that's what Prosperity Academy would promote. I mean, I'm not sure if you heard of penny stocks a while back.
Don't invest in penny stocks either. Please don't.
It doesn't make pennies, at least. So.
Penny stocks, the idea of penny stocks is they're very low price stocks. They're small companies and they don't have a proven track record. The financial side of it is a lot more berserk than more publicly traded, like larger cap stocks. They're very high risk and just not worth the time of day. Please do not try to trade penny stocks.
Okay. But you know what I would like to say, if you had a friend that lost $400,000, I mean, he seems already rich. I mean, that's great if you could lose $400,000. I think your finances are already good.
Yes, I don't disagree. It's like you're not spending a ton of money. It's not wild because you don't have much money to spend, The issue right now is your income is so low, your expenses aren't that high, but something's got to change. And in my opinion, if I was you, what you need to do is a couple things. One, increase income. I'd be finding a full-time job and picking either music or the acting side and doing that on the side and working your acting and music world to around your 9-to-5 job. And I'm not saying, hey, that's forever, but okay, maybe get a 9-to-5 job. You do music on the side. And if you get that call one day to go on tour, you're going to make $50,000 a year and you can afford to live with that, then hey, okay, then great. That'd be a phenomenal thing to do. And then you can quit the 9-to-5 if it replaces your full-time income. I'm not saying stop it. Don't ever have that dream, but get yourself in a good financial situation so you can save money, you invest money, you can pay off all your debt, and then you can be doing the fun stuff on the side. Because the last thing I don't want you to do is 10 years from now, you're still chasing that dream, still in the exact same situation with little income and no savings or investing to show. And so that's the first thing I do. Second thing is you need to be budgeting, tracking your expenses. I'll send you some resources on that as well. But if you don't have a plan, you don't track anything, then you're going to set yourself up for failure. Third is paying off debt after you budget. So I'm assuming the credit cards and collections.
Yeah.
Okay. So to pay off the collections, you're gonna have to save up money and call the collection agencies and offer them pennies on the dollar for the debt. It's $3,000 worth of credit card debt. If you have $1,000 saved up, you can call them and say, hey, I'll give you $1,000 today and be done with it. They might say no, and you'll say, okay, hang up, and I'll talk to you next month. When you call back, sorry. But you can negotiate that down with collection agency. And then student loans, $8,000. I mean, $11,000 worth of debt. If you get a full-time 9-to-5 job and you keep your expenses the exact same, you'll be out of debt in a couple months. And then would that not be a freeing feeling, being out of debt?
Yeah.
It'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And then you can save up for a car, and that'd be exciting. Then you have a vehicle. So that's what I want for you is increasing your income, paying off your debt, and then you can start enjoying life, living life, and doing things you do. You can have a higher budget for eating out. So you can go to a nice restaurant once a month or X number of times a month. You can have a budget so you can travel if you want to go on a cruise once a year or go on a trip. You can save up $1,000, $2,000 to be able to do that if you have a full-time job. I want you to enjoy and do those things, but that takes money to do it.
All right, excuse me, right quick. I wanted to ask about so you don't suggest things like government bonds or I don't know, stuff like I forgot what you call them, or anything like a government bond or stuff like that. You don't suggest in
I'm about the index funds over bonds. Bonds have a lower rate of return. Bonds have a much lower rate of return than the stock market on average historically. For reference, this is a historical chart about U.S. bonds versus S&P 500. It's the first thing came up on Google. Is it accurate? I don't know, but it's probably gives you the right idea. But if you invested $100 in 1928 in the S&P 500, you would have $787,000 today. So that's 100 years of investing. If you did the same thing in a U.S. bond, T-bond, you'd have $7,000.
Oh, my Lord. Oh, man.
So that goes to show bonds in here don't have the best rate of return. Again, is this website accurate? Probably.
What about the invested in gold?
Same thing. I mean, I'm not a fan of investing in gold. I'm index funds. Let's see. Average return of gold versus the S&P 500. So gold, it says about 5%, and the S&P 500 is about 10%. So it's about half as much. So again, I'm not a precious metals guy. I know some people that do, some people that don't. That's not for me. Not what I believe in. I have no use for gold. So does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so I think the main thing for you is right now, you got to figure out what do you want in life, where you want to go, and how much money you need to get there, and then how can you chase your passions while taking care of yourself financially. Because being 44, you have to start saving and investing for retirement. Do you know how much money you think you need to retire at 67? Give me a number.
Oh, man.
$1 million? $500,000?
Oh, man. See, it depends on where you are. Like, do you have your own house?
Yeah, you have your own house.
What is taxes? Oh, man.
How much a year to live in retirement? 30,000, 40,000, 20,000?
Yeah, 30,000 a year is about right.
Okay. If you want 30,000 a year in your retirement account, that means you need $750,000 roughly at the time you retire. And for you to get $750,000 by the time you retire, that means you have to start investing roughly $1,100 a month starting today until the age of 67 at a 7% rate of return, you'd have $750,000. And if you decide, hey, I'm not going to do this until we'll say you start at 55, you'd only have $247,000. So by starting today versus 10 years from now, you'll have $500,000 more dollars at age 67 than you did if you waited 10 more years to do that.
My gosh.
So that is why it shows that it's so much more important to start today versus waiting and praying and hoping everything works out. Does that make sense?
Yes, that does.
So that's why I'm at it like, today's the day you need to make changes. I hope we can do a follow-up in 3 months, 6 months, see where you're at. Hopefully the full-time job, most of his debt paid off. And then you can start the fun part, which is saving up an emergency fund, buying a car, saving up cash for that, traveling, and saving and investing for the future. What do you think? Does that not sound fun?
Yes, it does. But it's like, oh, man.
But then you got to give up either acting or music, or you don't have to give them up. You have to turn down some opportunities if they don't fit your 9-to-5 work schedule.
Yeah, I know, but all right, the thing is, sometimes people have worked hard to get where they are, and it's like, when you're trying to get to the top, and it's like, it's not that easy to say, okay, I'll just, leave it alone when you've invested so much.
I'm not saying leave it alone. I'm saying put it off to the side, and you might not be putting 10 hours. How many hours a week are you putting into both of those?
Okay, fine. Really, regular 40-hour?
How are you putting 40 hours into it if you have 2 jobs on the weekends drumming, and then you have 1 or 2 acting jobs during the week? That's not 40 hours.
Yeah, right, but you spend time looking for different projects, submitting, talking to this.
So if you truly were working 40 hours a week, then that means how much you'd be making an hour, how much you're making an hour technically?
Oh, yeah, you're right. That's way below
You're making like $8 an hour, probably.
Yeah, but the thing is, when you're doing art and certain things, you have to look at time that you're practicing.
I think we're gonna agree to disagree on this, because it sounds like you don't want to change your acting or your music lifestyle. You don't want to go get a full-time job to make more money. You want to continue to pursue that, even if that means you'll never be able to travel, you'll never be able to save for retirement, you'll never be able to pay off your debt. It's your life. I can't make decisions for you, so it's up to you to decide.
It's all right.
It's something to think about. You don't have to decide today, but it's something for you to think about where you want to go. Do you need money for that? Or are you okay where you currently are? And when you wake up, you might have to work till the day you die. And that's just something you have to be okay with. Hey, I want to pursue my music career and my acting career. I'll never be able to pay off my debt, and I will not have money saved up for retirement.
See, but that's another thing. When you have hope and things are, your career things look like it's going in a positive direction.
I'm trying to be realistic here. The positive direction, that would mean income has been increasing. And how long have you been doing a musician and acting full time? 20 years, 10 years, 5 years?
Yes, 20.
Okay, so 20 years to get to $18,000 an hour or $18,000 a year. That doesn't sound like an upward trajectory. It sounds like a plateau. And that's okay. That's okay. But that also means, okay, maybe it's time to get a full-time job, and that is the side project, passion project on the nights and weekends. Because if you're only putting 40 hours a week into that, cut it back to 20 and go get a full-time job and you work 60 hours a week. I mean, I work 80 hours a week most weeks.
For this show?
No, this show is my nights and weekends. This is just a fun thing I do just for fun because I love talking about finance.
Oh.
And this is just my fun project because I love personal finance. I make $0 from this show. It costs me more to run this show than I make. If you're watching this, hit the like and subscribe button. Let's grow the channel.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, you can work more hours than 40 hours a week, especially working and get another full-time or part-time job. I don't care if it's going to a retail shop and you're working 20 hours a week for them, but you're at least making $15 an hour of that, and then you're still making the same amount of money on your acting and music world. So something to think about. We'll agree to disagree on it, but at least think about it. Okay?
That's true, but you know what? Michael J. Fox, he's an actor.
Okay, so you don't compare yourself to Michael J. Fox, Rihanna, Jay-Z, LeBron James, Tom Brady, Warren Buffett. They're all the top 0.001% of talent in their field.
You're right, but the day he got booked to do his famous TV show. I think it was called Family Ties. He had no phone, no nothing. His agent had to wait till about 10 p.m. because that's when he'll get a pay. He'll go to a payphone and call his agent to see if he got any parts. He didn't have any phone, and he had to call from a payphone.
What does that have to do with you, though?
You know, people are broke until you hit it. That's what I mean. You're broke until you're not, till things turn around.
You can make small steps, put yourself in the right direction, because I hope it works out for you in that world, in the entertainment world. But it also is a very difficult world. And so worst case scenario, it doesn't work out there. You have a safety net because you've built it up and you build your finances safe and strong from another job. But again, we'll agree to disagree. I think right now you have a lot of work to do on the financial side with income, getting the debt paid off, learning about investing. Don't invest until you're out of debt. You got to figure out your student loan interest rate first too. But there's definitely a lot of things that need to change in the next couple of years rapidly so you don't have $0 when you're retired. Stefan, what is one piece of advice you'd give to someone in a similar situation as you?
Well, to be honest, I would tell people to listen to your show because you give a good financial breakdown. I mean, everything you've said, you have the facts to prove everything. You gave a great financial. Listen to your show. Listening to you will put anybody on the great financial track.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate that. That's very nice, and that means a lot. And really, really appreciate you coming on here and talking about your finances. And I'm excited to see where you go from here. I hope wish you the most success in your acting career and your music career. And I hope to see some change too in the financial situation, income, and debt paid off. And hopefully you'll follow up in 6-12 months and see where you're at.
That'll be great.